Well, hello internet, here we are. We have ourselves a video for the day in progress. Just a few things rattling around in my head that I thought I would put out there and share with those that watch my vlogs. So let's get this video going, and welcome to our vlog. Well, it's been a few days, and during these few days there have been a few things go on. Nothing too crucial, nothing too major, catastrophic or anything. It's just more confirmation of my of where I need to be for the future and what direction I need to be going, pursuing when I do things. I have been struggling for the last whatever it's been, trying to recover from everything that's been going on, recover from the summer, recover from the stress, recover from some of the stress that I've been under for the last 6 months. When I look back, it started in probably late March, early April of 2022. I remember when my mind changed from thoughts of painting, thoughts of winter activities, thoughts of my stack of canvases that I had in place. I remember when those thoughts changed to summer activities, to planning out the summer road trip, to planning out places to go and things like that, and trying to get the trailer up to a large summer road trip and make sure that it was in place, not just for me but for the person that was coming with me. The stress that I put myself under during those months kind of carried over into the summer, especially once I realized how much it was actually going to cost to do this summer vacation that I had planned. Especially once I realized that 2 people equal 2 admissions equal 2 times the food. You know, that much distance, with the gas prices being, you know, nearly 80 to 90 cents more at the highest point than they ever were at the highest point in 2019. Realizing that the money that I had managed to save up wasn't going to be anywhere close to what was needed to successfully complete that large of a road trip. And then realizing that I essentially failed to live up to the promises that I had made, that for the road trip to have happened this summer. Then having to shift and refocus on a scaled back version of my solo summer plans, like whatever it would be, camping in a campsite or a short small road trip just to say that I was out on the road. And when I had a few other expenses pre-camping season, that changed some of those plans quite a bit. And then I thought, well, I could do a little bit of a short abbreviated road trip around the Drumheller area, maybe completing my list from 2019 and realizing that that list wasn't going to get done because financially it wasn't there for me to do that list, and then having to realize what to do to what I was going to have to do to get back home, realizing that list wasn't going to get done, going back to the campsite and realizing my dog was sick and needed veterinary care, needed surgery, which definitely took a bite out of any remaining budget that I had left, and even thinking that I could have any type of a road trip this summer was probably something that I shouldn't have even entertained or put myself through. And having to realize that my new life doesn't support my my adventures that I want to do anymore. Realizing that my new life no longer will be able to financially support anything more than basically the basics. Basically just surviving month to month and barely managing to pay the bills and the rent, and having to find creative ways to get groceries. That is what my new life is going to be. So having to come to grips with all of that, having to essentially let go of every hope, every dream, every project, every idea that I had, that I've wanted to do, that I had planned to do, that I had been working towards, is something that took a while to work through or get to get over with. And that kind of shock or that kind of recovery is something that threw me in a little bit of a turmoil or loop. My body, when it's trying to recover from something, whether it's an illness or an injury or some kind of mental trauma or a huge letdown or failure or disappointment, seems to go into a shutdown and revert back to what I have called its natural state. Now, when I was born at like early part of the evening, so my day sort of begins, you know, in the evening. And my whole life I have naturally been a night person. I have worked jobs for years that were graveyards or overnights where most people couldn't work them even for, you know, two weeks or a month. I worked them for years. When I get myself back to a day schedule, it doesn't take long for things to revert back to night schedule. Even when I try to hold a day schedule, any little deviant, any little variation in the pattern or the schedule throws me back into nights. I can hold a day schedule. I can work days. I have worked early morning days. I have worked late nights. I have worked graveyards, sometimes all in the same shift type rotation. But my natural body rhythm is nights. I am a night person. And in order for me to recover from some of this, I've had to go back to essentially what is living nights, sleeping during the most part of the day and awake for the most part of the night. I have tried to function in the daytime during this whether it's for groceries or for banking or to get out to the trailer or to do other things. And I know I'm not pregnant. Definitely know I'm not pregnant. But it's like when I wake up in the morning, it's like I have morning sickness. It's like I am nauseous and nasty for the first 4 or 5 hours of the day. And if I go back to sleep after I've shook the bulk of it, I go back to sleep, and when I wake up later in the day, I am perfectly fine. When I don't wake up in the morning and I wake up late in the day, I am perfectly fine. I tried to explain this to many a doctor for like the last 20 years, and nobody seems to care to look into it or to even explain what it is. Nobody seems to want to help if it's something that I could have got help for, whether it was for a job or a relationship or just living a life. So that's kind of where my life has been over the last little while. That's kind of where my struggles have been over the last little while. That's kind of why I haven't been able to complete some of these goals that I've had over the last little while, is that I am busy recovering from this summer's adventures, as I call them. The trauma, the stress, the going about it, the overdoing it, the stressing out about this trailer, knowing that it's not worth fixing, knowing that I don't have the money to fix it, but also knowing that if I don't fix it, then there's going to be no camping for the next foreseeable future, unless I go buy a $200-300 Walmart tent and back to sleeping on the cold, wet ground, which is not going to be good for me, especially now at this stage in my life. However, if I'm going to want to camp, that's probably what's going to have to happen, truthfully. Even if I'm able to pull off this trailer, even if I'm able to get in there, not end up in the hospital from the mold or the wet or whatever's growing in that bathroom, even if I'm still able to do all that, dry it out, it's still going to be a potential 2 to 3 year project. It's still going to take money that I do not have to spend. I cannot spend. I do not have to spend to get this trailer back to a usable shape, or even project completed in 2-3 years. That kind of worry, that kind of stress is what adds to and throws me back into, the kind of loop that I've been going through. So I've had to kind of put things on the back burner. I've had to kind of shut things down. I've had to kind of not think about certain things that are affecting my life, so they don't affect my life. And even if that means not uploading videos until November or December, then I guess the channel is going to go through a dead spot where there's not going to be much of any content. Even if that means not buying groceries again for a month or two so I can afford to fix the computer, then that's going to be the way it is. Even if that means just getting the trailer winterized and then dealing with the trailer come spring, and losing out on camping all next season, which I'm basically going to lose out on it anyways, regardless of whether the trailer wasn't needing repair or was still usable, because, well, I have no idea how I'm going to make it. I have no idea how I'm going to still mentally hold on to things without having the outlet of camping. it is such an important part of my life that I don't know. I should have bought a brand new trailer instead of buying a house. I should have bought a big truck and a big trailer, or even a motorhome or something, instead of buying the house. But at that time in my life, you know, the white picket fence, the wife, the kid, the house was where I thought you had to be a valued member of society. So I did at the time what I thought I needed to do to fit in with society, when really I should have been doing 15, 20 years ago what I wanted to do. And if society doesn't like what I do, then well, they can pretty much just leave me alone, because I'm living the life that I want to live, not living the life they want me to live. Because in the end they bail and leave you alone with a pile of debt and a house that needs a ton of repair, and basically you end up dumping it all out, walking away from everything and screwing up your future, all because you thought that this is what society wanted you to do, to be a valued member, and not just some guy living in a van down by the river on the fringes of being called insane, or you know, a weirdo kind of a thing. But I guess it is what it is. A few ideas I've had in my head, some of the struggles I've gone through. I'm gonna keep making these here vlogs, and gonna edit them when I can and upload them when I can. Like I said, could be December, could be next year, you know, after the New Year's, when I get things squared away, but it'll be what it is, and around we go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.